Hello guys and gals, Buffalo here. Got a little bit of a different kind of video for you guys today. Not going to be doing any shooting. Go ahead and get that out of the way, so you guys that just like to watch the shooting can go ahead and click away right now. But I wanted to talk about a gun that I feel like that I made a mistake buying. I regret buying this gun. I bought this gun back in 2004, and it's a youth model gun. I bought it for my middle daughter at the time. She was learning to shoot. She'd been doing really well with her air rifle, and I thought it was time for her to step up to an actual firearm. This is a New England firearms. It's a Versa pack. It's got a 22 barrel and a 410 barrel. You can switch those out with nothing more than a 4-way screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver. Just take that screw out, swap the barrels out, put the forearm back on, good to go. Got a lot of good features on this little gun. It's got a pretty good set of sights on it. The 22 barrel is actually rifled with the micro groove, the Marlin style micro groove rifling. Really accurate. Got a decent trigger on it. Locks up tight, man. That sucker's, it's pretty well made. It's a well made little gun, and that's the reason I bought it. I thought this will be perfect. You know, it's small, compact. It'd be perfect for her to learn on when we go out shooting small game where we need a 22 long rifle. She can have this barrel on. We go shooting something else, she can swap out to the 410 barrel. Just a really good concept, but I didn't realize when I bought it, and didn't realize even until a few weeks after we had it. I was teaching her to shoot the 22, and you know, as a dad, you're out there. I didn't really shoot the rifle. I was out there helping her and trying to get her to do proper follow through and have good technique and all this stuff, and it just wasn't happening. She wasn't getting the follow through concept of keeping your focus on that front sight all the way through the trigger squeeze, gun fires, stay focused on the front sight, watch it settle back in on the target. Just, you can call your shots that way. You can tell if you pulled right or left. If you pay attention to that front sight, it'll tell you what you're doing. But she wasn't able to do that, and it was a few weeks of having this before I figured out why. This hammer, I'm going to dry fire this. It's a rim fire. I know somebody's going to fuss at me for dry firing it, but I really don't care with this little gun. This hammer, those sights are pretty good sights, but this hammer, as soon as you squeeze that off, I can't see my sights anymore. Can't see them at all. The hammer has them blocked. It sticks up higher than the sights do. So there's no way that I could teach her proper follow through with a gun that she couldn't see the sights on. And the same thing with the 410 barrel. Of course, with the shotgun, you're focused on the target rather than the bead. So you're not focused on the front sight when you shoot a shotgun, unless you're shooting slugs or a turkey gun or something like that. But if you're shooting at birds, you're focused on that target. And all this would do was make her look over when she shot. She would look over to see if she made the hit or not. It just creates bad habits. So I put the gun away, and I bought her a little bolt action 22 rifle. And I put this away and really haven't had it out much since. It hasn't been fired. I bet this gun, I've had it since 2004, 15 years I guess, a little over 15 years. And I bet it hasn't had 300 rounds through it. For a 22, that's nothing. Just once I found that flaw, I was done with it. And I know some people will say just bob the hammer and make it shorter, but in order to bob this hammer enough so that you can see the sights, you wouldn't even have nothing left to cock it with. Now it is drilled and tapped. I could get a mount here and put an optic on it and maybe go with that, but then I'd need a riser back here. It just defeats the handiness of the gun. And plus I wanted her to learn on the iron sights. But I may end up, just to make it useful again, I may end up putting an optic on here and raising the comb a little bit just to make it useful, but it still won't help with the shotgun barrel. I mean, it is what it is at that point. But I wanted to mention this. I haven't heard any other YouTubers talk about this, and there are a lot of shotguns out there and rifles that are made like this. It's not just this one model. There are a ton of shotguns out there that block your line of sight to the target as soon as you squeeze that trigger. And a lot of rifles like that. There are a lot of single barrel rifles that suffer from the same thing. Most adults don't never notice it because they end up putting an optic on their rifle. And with a shotgun, a lot of people just don't know what proper follow through is. I hate to say that, but they don't even know. They don't know what they're missing. If they've never done it right, they don't know that they're not following through. So to me, that's a fatal flaw. I don't shoot those type of shotguns on my channel. You've seen me shoot single barrel shotguns that break open like this, but they've got internal hammers. That back L, for instance, that's the main reason I chose that shotgun. It had the internal hammer instead of the external. And before somebody gets upset, I know that not all external hammer break actions are like this. Some of them have the hammers laid back. It's dropped back in a manner that when it falls, and that's some of your more high-end models, when that hammer falls, it doesn't block your sights. And they did that on purpose to keep that from happening. But there are a lot of these out there like this, and I never hear anybody talk about it. And I wanted to talk about it tonight. It's getting late already, but I wanted to go ahead and talk about that tonight. I also want to give an end of video shout out to Bobby Brown. Guys, go check Bobby Brown out. I'll have a link to his channel in the description below this video. Very funny, very smart guy. Puts out a lot of good content. I've been subscribed to Bobby for years and years, and he has me. You see him in a lot of the comment sections of other gun channels. You know, he really gets out there, and I don't see how anybody wouldn't like Bobby Brown. He's just an all-around good guy. So go and check his channel out. But that's really all I wanted to talk about tonight. This is one of the guns that I regret buying. I have bought others over the years that I regret, and I don't have those anymore, so I can't show them. The only reason I have this one is it was my daughter's first firearm, good or bad. That is a little bit of sentimental value to me, so I have hung on to it all these years. Most of the others, if I get a gun and I feel like I don't like it, I don't hang on to it long. So that's all I got, and I'll talk with you guys again soon.